Chalk Luke 4.
There's a cancer on this fair city. He is the cancer, and I am the... what cures cancer?
Hey guys, what's up? The Seeger of my house bidding you welcome. And before I start anything, Chalk Luke 4, go fuck yourself. I'm kidding. Everybody watching, go check out Chalk Luke 4, or what am I saying? 120 Star Productions on YouTube. I will have a link for them down below. The creator of that channel, someone who I have talked to and been on a podcast on, who is named Chalk Luke 4, that's why I was using that name, made a video based on my last video. And it's something else. And you might have been able to tell I was all over the place in that video. I did not know whether I was coming or going. And I don't know what I'm looking at there either, because there's just black. But definitely check them out. I'm not sure if I put it in this video, or maybe I'll put it as a separate thing, but I've made a little something in response. So you would have seen it at the beginning if I did. But I have no idea where to go about this. I have a bunch of stuff downstairs. Not that downstairs, the actual downstairs in my house. Though I do have a lot of stuff downstairs anyway. That I need to show. Stuff from a kind of convention, but not really. We'll call it a convention. I will explain it when I get to it, which will be in another video. So there's something to look out for. Getting the spoilers out of the way. But for this one, I have been just amounting random stuff for maybe 2 or 3 weeks, because the last 2 or 3 weeks my videos have either been backlog, so items that I had filmed and just not gotten around to uploading, or, and this is more to the case, videos where I actually go out new video game hunting and then only make a pickup video for that stuff. Which I enjoy doing. I love doing those videos, but it messes up my schedule. And I hate having stuff just on the floor waiting to be shown. But we will get around to all of it in this video. I just need to know where to start. How about this crap? Alright. All of this crap was picked up in one day. And a combination of pawnbrokers and cash converters, don't know what I'm on about, and an EB Games, which I don't buy a lot from very often, or not recently. I do go there to buy new games, like Child of Light I bought from them, but apart from that, not really. But they were having a sale, a fairly decent sale, and so I went in and I grabbed a few items. The items I grabbed were, for $14 and half off, I grabbed a copy of Resident Evil 0, which I didn't even know this existed. Well, I did know it existed. I knew it was on the GameCube, but I had no idea it was on the Nintendo Wii. So now I don't need to get it for the GameCube, and I don't need to buy it for that. I'm not going to call it a stupid system, because people were getting on my case the last time I did. I prefer the Wii. Unless it's implementing motion controls or something. Not a fan of motion controls, which is why I will show you. No, I'll show you that a little bit later. I'm trying to stay on topic. Another game I got from there was Guitar Hero on Tour for the Nintendo DS. It's kind of cool. It's a big box one. That has I'll just open it and show you. A little controller that you can attach. You attach it to the Game Boy Advance cartridge slot in your Nintendo DS, and then you put in the cartridge and you can play it. And it's very, very cool. And I've been playing it a little bit. It's not bad. It's kind of fun, actually. I mean, it's like you have chiptune versions of your favorite songs. Well, the songs that are on here. Not saying any of them are my favorite by any means. Also grabbed a Nintendo DS. One that I only bought because it was cheap. El Tigre, something something, The Adventures of Manny Rivera. Looks awful. But hey, it was cheap, and if I don't like it, I can get rid of it. Because that's what a collector does. You buy an item, that's not what a collector does, that's the opposite of what a collector does. A collector buys something so that they can put it on a shelf and look at it. That is what a player does. Buy something to play it. And if they don't like it, they'll stop playing it. Done. They'll get rid of it. And finally from there, for $9, something I've been waiting to go down in price for pretty much since it came out in 2007. And I thought this was a good price for it. Genji, or Genji, or Genji. I don't know how to pronounce it. Days of the Blade. I have the first Genji game on the PlayStation 2. I'm looking at it right now. This is a very good game. And I would say this is a very good game, but I have not played it. Because it doesn't work. From what I can tell, it really should, because there's nothing on the disc to suggest that it wouldn't work, but it just doesn't work, so I'll be taking that back to EB Games. They will hear my wrath. Let's use correct English pronunciation. And then the rest of this stuff is from Cash Converters. All picked up on a single day and a single trip. First thing for $3 is The Simpsons Road Rage. I hate the English language. Very cool game. It's Crazy Taxi, but with Simpsons characters. So if you thought Hit and Run was a rip-off of a popular game, this came before it. But it's very fun. It controls very well. You have all of the Simpsons characters, and as you're driving them around, you kind of hear them make fun of you and have quick quips. Very cool. This one does have scratches on it, actually. There's a position where you can see them. I finally figured out how to show scratches. You get a particular area in a light source. It's annoying. But it does work, so I will be keeping it in the collection. And for $3, I thought that was a good deal. Next, one I swear I already own. Someone recommended this and another game to me, and I bought one of them, and I don't know if it's this one. But it is, for $3 also, Ninja Assault. It's a light gun game, so you need the G-Con 2 or some kind of equivalent gun. And you go around a level shooting ninjas. It's very, very fun. Though while I was playing it, I was wondering why I had a gun when everyone else just had swords. You gotta strive for realism in an arcade shoot 'em up. Nah. Very cool game though I finished it in like 2 hours. Very short. And I tried playing it with, you can play it with multiple characters, but it was just like the same storyline again. Both a different character. No manual, but for only $3, I believe I got my money's worth. So what would that be? $1.50 per hour. Not bad. Not bad. Name a thing of entertainment that will only cost you $1.50 per hour. Nothing in Australia. Next. For $3, which I believe I was ripped off on. Frogger, the Great... Frogger, the Great Quest. Did I mention I hate the English language? Sorry. This looks awful. I will show you the back and some of the graphics. Just looks like a really bad game. But I did not have it in the collection. I didn't even know this one existed. I believe I have another Frogger game on the PlayStation 2. Do I? If I do, it'll be here. I do not have another Frogger game on the PlayStation 2. I must be thinking of the PlayStation 1 version. Frogger Returns, I believe it was called, which was very good. This one does not look good, though. Who knows? $3. Did I get ripped off? Maybe. However, it was all made up for when I grabbed this Predator on the PlayStation. I would like to have Predator Concrete Jungle. Do I have it? I do not have it. I would like to have Predator Concrete Jungle on the PlayStation 2, but I did not have the DVD of Predator, or any form of Predator. Well, I am a form of Predator, but that's for a different... I'm not even gonna go there. Predator on DVD. Very, very good movie, though I have not watched it in years. Though I do remember what it's about, and I'm not going to spoil anything. But if you haven't seen it, it's worth a watch. And the person actually gave that to me for $1, so that it could be a total of $15 after I purchased this last item. Brothers in Arms D-Day. This is another one towards the full set of Brothers in Arms games. I have 2 of them on the PlayStation 2, 1 of them on the PlayStation 3, and this one, which means I might have all of them. So I'm not sure. If I do, let me know. They are very good games. Tactical World War II first-person shooters where you actually command a squad. Very, very good. And I forgot to show this a few weeks ago, but it was from a random op shop, or thrift store if you will. Ghostbusters, a PC game, or as it calls itself, a game story. It was only $2 and I love my Ghostbusters. I'm not really sure how to describe it, so I'll just show you on the back. I did play it. It's a bunch of Ghostbusters themed mini games, so not very good, but hey, I like Ghostbusters. And so that was worth buying. What else do I have to show? Yeah. Ooh, I remember this stuff. Okay. Actually, I need to grab something. I went to the market multiple times. Both times in the last 2 weeks I went to the market. And both times I found really good items. Some items better than others. And both times I did spend a fair amount of money, not too much. Like, I think $20 in one trip and then 20-something odd dollars in the next one. In fact, I'll be able to show you how much I spent. But, and I have a story to go along with this, a really cool story. There was a group of sellers, and they joined together to set up one booth, and their catch was, so you went into the booth, and they had signs saying, send, what was it? Send something something karate team to the Olympics, or something like that, or to the Summer Games. I don't remember what it was, but it was a female karate team that was trying to raise money to send their students over to, I think, Brazil or something. I don't remember. But I took them at their word for it. I mean, they looked like they could kick my ass, but that's not too hard. A lot of women could probably kick my ass. Whether they know karate or not. But it was just very cool, like, talking to them. I honestly believe they were raising money to send people to go do karate in Brazil. It's very cool. And they had a bunch of stuff, a lot of video games. And for $5 each, I grabbed everything I was interested in. And they did give me a deal on all of this stuff. Firstly, and they had 2 of these there. I probably should have grabbed the other one as well. An Xbox 360 controller with no battery pack, but I have a thing that connects it to the Xbox 360 itself, a cord. So no worries. And it works, though it will connect in and out. So you'll be playing for half an hour, and then it'll disconnect, and you'll have to reconnect it, which I don't mind because it still works. On the Nintendo DS, Custom Robo Arena. I know Custom Robo on the GameCube goes for a fair amount of money. Who knows? It's probably a good game, haven't played it yet. That's my story. The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. On the Nintendo Wii. Had to think about that one for a minute. I enjoyed the movie, so who knows? Maybe the game will be good, though usually movie adaptations aren't anything to write home about. And one that just had the disc, and it's in a case that says Dolly Parton on it. But it's a PlayStation 1 game I did not have. Space Invaders. I grabbed this, and one of the ladies who was set up said, Space Invaders is the greatest game of all time. I agree with her, it's very good. Greatest game of all time? Yeah, sure, why not? I'm not gonna argue with her. Altogether, it was $15, so if you want to see it, as I got this for free and paid $5 each for them, do that. Otherwise, it would be $3.50 for each item. Which, once again, I would have been happy to pay, and I did pay. Very interesting people. I can't say that enough. I was asking how much it would cost for, like, accommodation there, and they said just for accommodation, it was around like $3,000 because it was during Olympic time, so everywhere was expensive, and they wanted to stay in a place where they knew they would get the servicing they needed, so like, very interesting, even if I'm lost for words for it. And I didn't find very much there actually, but what I did find was fairly cool. I only found stuff from one other seller, so that'll tell you what kind of day it was, but I did walk home happy. I walked home very happy at what I found. And the items that I found were definitely unique in this case. We have some promotional items for the GameCube. I went up to the person who was selling this and picked it up and said, how much do you want for these? And he's like, I'm not sure, let me ask a friend. And so he got his friend out. No idea what their story was, but they had a bunch of like promotional Nintendo stuff set up. Like keychains, standees, whatnot. No idea what price they would have wanted for them. I didn't really care because, you know, promotional items are cool, but I really don't have any use for them. Unless there's something I can just throw onto a shelf. So a lot of the stuff there just would have wasted away in a box, and I don't want to do that. I would rather leave it for someone who would actually appreciate it. But for the stuff I did want, the guy said $1 each. And I thought that was a very fair price. So I grabbed from there 3 items. An exclusive Australian launch CD for the Nintendo GameCube. Before you ask, no. You can piss right off, I'm keeping this. I'm not a fan of the GameCube, but I like this, it's very cool. And it's literally just the insert and the disc. It's a very strange item. From what they were telling me, he was given this when he originally bought the GameCube in like the year 2001. Like he bought it on release and was given this CD with it. And it's something that's a little bit strange. It's a GameCube disc. You can definitely tell it's a mini disc. However, it says for PC and Mac, and I tried to play it in my Nintendo Wii and it wouldn't play. But I put it in my computer and it did, so kinda weird that they would shape it like that. I don't know. Also grabbed, not sure if this item had ever came with a case, but I don't really mind because it is a... I'm going to sneeze. You don't care about my problems. a promotional copy of Star Wars Rebel Strike Rogue Squadron 3. That foresight. Rogue Squadron 3. Very cool. I put it in and it does work. And I will be keeping that as well because of how cool an item is. I probably like this one the most though. It is from a magazine. And no joke, I do not remember a single point in history when magazines gave out VHS tapes. I remember when CDs were becoming popular, they'd give them out, so there was a PC magazine back when I was younger that would give you a software disc and you can install a bunch of games on it from there. But I never remember them giving out VHS tapes, which is why it amazed me to find this. Cube. From gamer.now.com. And on the back you can see it was some kind of magazine. Never heard of it before. But very cool. Put it in, it just has like a few promotional things, like reviews and stuff for upcoming games. Very cool. What else do I have to show? On a random trip to my favorite cash converters store, I picked up 2 PlayStation 1 games, and I had to stand there and explain why I was buying them to the guy. He didn't ask, I just felt really bad. They're those kind of games. The kind of games that a guy like Grubgun would buy. Mary-Kate and Ashley Crush Course. He doesn't even know I'm alive, but he's so cute. That's awful. I sincerely hope no one paid whatever price this went for when it released. Because for more than $1, it's not worth it. And a game I too already own, so... Is it down here? It is not. It must be in my case of games. If you don't know, I keep the PlayStation 1 games kind of down here-ish. And then I have a tub of them over there as well. Well, 2 tubs. But Mary-Kate and Ashley Magical Mystery Mall. I'm not going to... Almost broke it. I'm not going to insert what I did the last time I found this game because... I believe it's only funny once. If you want to know, go back and find it. I don't know which pickup video it was in. And I can't be bothered searching it to find it. What else did I grab? Might as well get an eBay package out of the way. For $5 shipped, I bought Bank Panic on the Sega Master System. Not in the greatest condition, but for the price I paid, I don't really mind. Cool game, I can use the Sega Light Phaser for it, and I do. But the story here is what they sent it in, which probably cost them a lot more than I paid for it. So, what they had done, instead of just shipping it in like an envelope or something, which I would have been fine with given what I paid, they sent it in this. Australian Air Express. That is the highest amount that you can pay for something. It means that you'll ship it out and it'll be there the next day. Not only that, they wrapped it in this, which in turn was wrapped in bubble wrap, so it had an insane amount of protection. All of this for this. That's insane. I mean, I can fit my head in this thing. My entire head. And they used it to send out a Sega Master System game. Very appreciative. I gave them very good feedback, which they wholeheartedly deserved. And the reason I actually went to EB Games for the original things, for the stuff I originally showed in this video, was to grab this. It is Minecraft, the PlayStation 3 edition. I also have this for the Xbox 360, but I'm going to keep this one brand new. I play it on PC, but I do like to have it. It's a cool game, and it was cheap. And also, in a random JB Hi-Fi, also while I was doing that trip, I should have showed this at the beginning of the video, now it's all out of whack. But I did pick up that item and this one when I bought these items. So, and this is probably like the 30... I'm going to go and grab all of the times I've bought this game. I have bought this game no less than 6 times. Each time I bought it, it was a single $1. And it is Bakugan, Defenders of the Core. So I have the Xbox 360 version, the Nintendo Wii version, the PlayStation 3 version, and 3 copies of the Nintendo DS version. Why? Because I'm a hoarder. And no, none of them are up for trade. I want them all, and I'm keeping them all. Forever. So yeah, that. And another random thrift store thing. I don't even remember when this was. But I do know why I was buying this. I went into the thrift store to find a hat. A silly hat. Because every Monday at my TAFE is Silly Hat Monday. And me and a few students just wear silly hats to school. Because why not? It's lots of fun. Ooh, and I finished my studies finally, so I'm finally employable. But, while I was in the thrift store, I don't even know where that other hat is. I grabbed a promo CD for Knight's Journey into Dreams for the PC. Or you can play this on DVD as well, I guess. It's in there. I would love to find this game for the Nintendo Wii. Very cool. I also have it... I have the Christmas version of Nights into Dreams. Very fun game. I am looking for the Sega Saturn version as well, but I can wait. And I also grabbed a anime DVD. Something I have not watched anime for a very, very long time. I was watching it fairly recently until like 2011. And when I say recently, like, fairly often. Until around 2011, where I just kind of grew out of it. I used to watch a lot, but then I just stopped. But I saw this and thought, oh, I remember this series, or I remember a form of this series. I remember a 80s or 90s version of this, and it is Bubblegum Crisis Tokyo 2040. Haven't seen this version. It looks kind of rubbish, but I do remember the other series, so who knows? Maybe it'll be the best thing ever, though I doubt it. And the last few items are things that I also found in an op shop. A official Pokemon Handbook number 3, and this is old enough for me to actually know the names of all the Pokemon in here. 2001. This was released. Not 2001 Pokemon, which I'm sure I'm sure there are that many now. But back then it was the date of publication. So very cool. Some good reading material. Also found something kind of weird. The Magical World of Roald Dahl. Cards. Oh, and that book was like 50 cents. This was 50 cents as well. It's literally cards based off of Roald Dahl stories. So, you have one called Dog's Droppings, which is from The Witches. It's a scratch and sniff, so Oh wait, that's not how... That is not how video works. Sorry. Mrs. Silver from... the one with the turtle, I don't remember the name of it. Yeah, don't remember the name of it. Farmer Bruce from Fantastic Mr. Fox, I do remember that one. The Ladybird from what I assume is James and the Giant Peach. And that is all of them, so 4 of these cards, just why not? It's a cool piece to have in the collection. And then finally, the thing that has been drawing all of my attention lately is the second last game I needed in the Silent Hill series, and it is Silent Hill Shattered Memories on the PlayStation Portable. And this game is amazing. It's kind of a remake of Silent Hill 1 because it has characters with same names, but that's the only thing it shares. So it shares the characters' names, but apart from that, it's its own game. And this is also published for the Nintendo Wii and the PlayStation 2. But I wanted to get either the PlayStation 2 version or the PSP version. Just because I like those systems a little bit more than Nintendo Wii. And I was on eBay, just kind of searching for it. There aren't a lot of copies. And I don't even think this was released in Australia, and there aren't a lot of people who will ship this to Australia. But I was able to find a version from Deutschland, Germany. I was able to find one from Germany, and it's entirely in English. It's just the case and the manual are all in German, which is a language I cannot read. But it's okay because the game is fairly straightforward. One thing that kind of struck me as off about this game is that when you encounter, it's not like any other Silent Hill game. It's set up in segments. An introductory segment into the chapter, then an exploration/puzzle solving, and then a monster segment. So, the introduction will, and I'm not spoiling anything here, will see you in a psychiatrist's office with a psychiatrist, and he's talking to you, and he'll ask you a few questions which you can just say yes or no to. And apparently this changes the game in ways I don't really know because I haven't finished it yet. And then it'll go into actual story. Like, he'll ask you the psychiatrist will ask you to explain such and such, and then it'll go into the story and you'll start playing it. And you'll do exploration, you will solve puzzles, and then when you get to a certain point, monsters will start showing up. And this is the really weird part, and a part that I actually don't enjoy all that much. You cannot fight the monsters. Your only option is to just turn tail and run from them. Which is very suspenseful, actually. It's very, very cool. And it works very well. But I'm just kind of used to fighting monsters in Silent Hill. That's always been my strategy. Whether I was Harry Mason or James Sunderland or Heather or whatever that goofball was named in 4. Fighting them was always my option. And it's still a very good game. The story is very good so far. I'm about, I want to say 60% of the way through the game. I've just escaped from Dahlia, who is grossly misrepresented in this game. When I heard the name Dahlia in the game, I was like, oh, we're gonna see that crazy witch lady again. She's a punk rocker in this version, so very strange, very strange. But the story is excellent, gameplay is very smooth, even on the PSP. Graphics for the PSP are very good, though I have seen footage of the Nintendo Wii version and it is far superior as you would expect, running off of the same innards as the GameCube. Very good. I recommend it if you can find it. I paid, I want to say $11.50 something cents shipped, which I was perfectly willing to pay so that I could play this game. And now the only other game I need in my Silent Hill collection, which, strangely enough, was a game that Joe needed in his Silent Hill collection. Joe from Japan, X Corn Muffin X, who I've been talking to. Very nice guy. Makes very good videos. I'll have his link down here. He doesn't watch my stuff, I don't think. We've been chatting back and forth. Sega CD Universe knows him. Very nice guy. Very down to earth, very mellow. Plays a lot of Japanese games. I think he lives in Japan. I think so. And that's how he gets all of his stuff. He actually, goes out to stores. He needed the same game that I need in my Silent Hill collection, which was Silent Hill Homecoming, and he recently bought it. And listening to him talk about it made me want to go out and find it for myself. And the one store which I knew how to copy, which is my local EB Games, sold it. It was $32 and they sold it, and I was willing to pay that. I was willing to pay that to play the only game I hadn't played in the Silent Hill franchise. So that's a bit of a shame. My search for that game will continue. I will find it. I'll find it eventually. I've definitely seen copies around. I've just never wanted to pick it up until now. And that is everything. So, remember, check out Chalk Luke 4, check out X Corn Muffin X, and if you watch a video from either of them, tell them I sent you. I'm sure they'll be very appreciative. And this is Sega of my house bidding you all farewell. Stay out of my thrift stores.